My friends, welcome to this episode of the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you all are doing well. I have just hit dirt, and I'll be cruising on this road for roughly 20 miles, and along the way, I'll be looking for a campsite. Already, rain has begun falling, and if you believe the forecast, it is going to rain throughout the day, tonight, and tomorrow morning. I'll tell you what, everybody, I'm going to focus on driving this narrow road here. Once I find a good campsite, I will bring you all back. Thanks for joining me, folks. Let's do this. It looks like they're doing some work on this road, and that's a good thing. Over time, this road can become pretty rough. As it stands right now, it is 1:37. The temperature is 81 degrees down here. Basically, when I started the video, we were at 4,100 feet. We are now at 2,400 feet. It is warm, it is humid, and there are a load of bugs, man. First things first though, I need to get a tarp set up. I don't like the look of the sky over there. Already I've hit rain this morning, so let's do the smart thing. Let's get a tarp set up, let's get some protection, and let's get this adventure underway. As you have seen, I've been busy setting up the tarp. I have that set up, I have full protection, and at the same time, I have really good airflow. Yes, it is windy today. It is somewhat loud, but folks, it is so hot. I love every bit of that breeze. That's why I've pitched this tarp rather high. I want to get as much airflow as possible because as it stands right now, I'm soaked in sweat. It's super hot, super humid. The watch says 81 degrees with 70% humidity. The wind is at 5.4 miles an hour. So I'll tell you what, now that we have the tarp set up, let's go ahead and let's set up my shelter for tonight, which is a tent. I will not be sleeping inside of the 4Runner tonight. So let's just go ahead, get that set up, get it out of the way. That way we don't have to worry about it later on. I don't know what the weather's going to do. It looks like rain, and I'm pretty sure I've been hearing some thunder. As an update, everybody, I have the tent set up just in the nick of time by the looks of it. The sky is really, really dark right now, and I'm hearing thunder as well. I'm gonna go ahead and just wrap this up as far as like setting up the tent goes. Sleeping pad, sleeping bag, pillow, done. Just get that out of the way. That way if it rains, it rains. I won't have to worry about this later on, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead, let's wrap that. This, everyone, feels incredible. It is so incredibly breezy at this corner of the woods here. I have no idea why. I did not hit any sort of breeze driving here, nothing. But, hey, I'm not going to complain. This is making a huge difference because, again, it is quite hot today. Yeah, everybody, everything's been set up as far as camp goes. We have the tarp up, we have the tent up, table, chair, oh yeah. Here in a second, we'll go ahead and make some coffee. As far as the time goes, it is now 2:45 in the afternoon. The humidity has jumped up to 88%, and the temperature is 82 degrees. So it is humid, it is hot for sure. What we have today are the perfect conditions to test out this tent. This is the One Tigress Mona tent. Recently I did a preview on this, and it has some issues. If it rains, I could test out the waterproofness, but at the same time I could test out how it performs in warm, humid conditions. If you're interested in this tent, make sure to watch the preview that I just put up. I went over all of the issues concerning this shelter. So yes, in a way this is a gear testing trip. But at the same time, I just wanted to get out of the house, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining me for this trip. I really do appreciate it. We are going to have a good time. We're going to test out some gear. We're going to have some good food. First things first though, we need some good coffee. So what I have here is a 22 long rifle bullet that was just laying on this rock. I'm going to dispose of this before some kid comes around and plays with it. Cheers, my friends, cheers. Talk about a nice campsite. I've been here before, at least once, maybe twice. I would say that was maybe like 2 years ago, something like that. Since the last time I was here, there was a forest fire in this area. Now, obviously this part was not burned, but several hundred acres were. I want to say that this campsite is a whole lot cleaner than the last time I was here. I'm pretty sure I had to clean up a sizable mess. Oftentimes when you're out in the middle of nowhere at these campsites like this, that's how it will be. Just garbage and junk everywhere. Unfortunately, oftentimes I don't even show that aspect. I just clean it up. I don't say anything about it. And that's because I really want you all to enjoy these adventures. I don't want the small things to take away from it. Even though it is an unfortunate aspect to the outdoors, which we will all have to deal with at some point in time. But yeah, this place is clean. There's no junk, no garbage. Everything's been picked up, minus one bullet. Just one though. That's funny. I know I need to stop talking about the breeze, but folks, it feels so good. It is so humid down here at this elevation. I mean, you can almost cut the humidity like with a knife, as the saying goes. It's because of the preview that I did with this tent that I wanted to come down to this elevation. The simple fact is, when I'm testing out gear, I have to test out products in a wide range of environments, as many as I possibly can. You know, those that make sense at least. So I test it out in the mountains, higher elevation. Then I come down to lower elevation where it's hotter, there's more humidity. That's because I need to know how well a tent performs. With this tent here, unfortunately, there's a lot of fabric. That means it's going to be hotter. The airflow is going to be lessened. Condensation could be an issue. So that's why I am here today. In addition to this place being an amazing campsite, more than anything, it's like killing two birds with one stone, as the saying goes. I'm gear testing and I'm having an adventure with you all at the same time. That is what this adventure is all about, my friends. Now, I'll tell you what, here in a minute, I need to start thinking about some firewood. This is, unfortunately, a very popular campsite, and there's not much to choose from. I see some small stuff on the ground, but that's about it. I did bring with me a compressed log that burns for about 3 hours, so I do have that as a backup, and more than likely, I will have to use it. I mean, there's just not much here. A few sticks, a few twigs, and that's about it. I've mentioned that I've been here to this campsite a time or two, and I know a little bit about this area, not a whole lot. I have more experience with a few mountains over. The elevation there would be roughly the same. You all may remember, many years ago, I almost stepped on a timber rattlesnake. Do you remember that? Remember that episode? That was an intense moment. It's the ramifications of almost stepping on that snake that frightened me. Not the snake bite, but think about it. Out in the middle of nowhere. Death is a possibility, disfigurement is a possibility, hospital bills like you can't even imagine are a possibility. Anti-venom costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. Again, the ramifications of getting bitten by that snake are so great, or were so great. Yeah, that was an eye-opening experience. I always try my best to be careful, but after that moment, after almost stepping on that snake, I'm especially careful. I make sure to check rocks, trees, roots. I look over things before I do things, and I never, ever stick my hand down towards the ground without checking out the area carefully. Most snake bites take place on your hand, and with some of those venomous snakes, you can actually lose your entire hand, lose some of your fingers, lose a big chunk of muscle. I mean, they really can mess you up. I told you all before that this is a popular location, and it certainly is. I looked around here and I've found very little firewood. I'm going to make a small pile. That's about as good as I can do. Luckily, I do have this fire log. This will burn for 3 hours and it puts off a ton of heat. Whoever was here last did collect a little bit of firewood, and I do mean a little. It's a bunch of twigs more than anything else. I'll use it, I'll burn it, but it's not going to last very long. That, my friends, is my pile of firewood. I have searched this area over, and that's all that I can find. This place is so popular, that's it. That's it. I even went out here and walked up and down the road, and there's just nothing. This area has been picked clean. That's okay though. I have this fire log here. It'll burn for a long time. Assuming that we can have a fire. It's not raining at the moment. I looked at the radar. I don't see any immediate threats, but it's always possible. Anything is possible here in the mountains. Before we make dinner, let's take a second here and let's talk about Trails, which is my 4Runner. I've been receiving emails and messages about it asking if I was going to do a review on this vehicle, and the answer is no. This channel is not about automobiles, trucks, SUVs, and stuff like that. It really is all about camping. Plus, the 2025 version of the 4Runner is going to be completely different. This is the last generation before the new one shows up. Because of that, there's really no reason to review this vehicle. I did buy this brand new, and already I've put 10,000 miles on it. Or it's right at 10,000. It's like 9,958 miles, something like that. I just got the 10,000 mile oil change done on it. So as it stands, I can tell you all, without a doubt, this is the best vehicle I have ever owned. I absolutely love the 4Runner. If I can change something, it would be power. This is not a speed demon at all. Luckily, I don't like to drive fast anyway, so that works out. But like, when you need to go, it gets the job done, but in the end, it leaves a lot to be desired. As far as usable space goes inside of this vehicle, there is quite a bit. For one person who's sleeping in this, there's a lot of space. You can make it work for 2 people, but it's not the most comfortable. Also, there is like a slight hump up where the back row seats are. You're not going to be able to see that because of all of my gear here, but if you want to camp in the back, you do have to account for that and basically just level it out to make it more comfortable. Ultimately though, folks, I love Trails. This is a fantastic off-roader. It's a fantastic on-roader. It really is the perfect vehicle for me, and it's good to be back. I thought I would miss the space of the old Toyota Tundra, but I don't. Because my kids are grown, they're gone, I don't need that much space anymore. So in the end, this has been a good change. This probably goes without saying, but this is awesome. What I have here is basically Thanksgiving. We have buttery mashed potatoes, we have stuffing, we have some turkey that I fried up in some butter, and it is flippin' awesome, folks. This is really, really good. At the same time, this was super easy to make. I did let this cool down just a little bit because it is so hot. Temperature-wise, still in the 80s. The wind is not blowing, there's no breeze. It's stifling, folks, it really is. Just sitting here, I feel myself sweating, you know what I mean? Luckily, dinner is really, really good. Here's the perfect bite. Turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes. Man, that's good. Woman, that's good. As far as the time goes, it is only 6:43, about 2 hours before the sun goes down, but yet it's dark. I would have got the fire going a while ago, but it's just too hot. I mean, 6:51, still 82 degrees. As long as I could sit still, it's okay. As soon as I start moving around, I just get soaked instantly. A little while ago, I was talking about my 4Runner. Have any of you driven, or maybe even owned, the 2024 Tacoma? I got to drive one the other day, and folks, it is awesome. It is, without a doubt, the best Tacoma that the company's made in a long time. I've had previous Tacomas, I've driven some of the newer ones, and nothing comes close to the brand new 2024. The engine is so much better. It's a 4-cylinder turbo, but it performs so good. The previous generation had a V6, but the transmission, basically it had a mind of its own. It wasn't very good. And also, like, the seating position, it was not very good either. Toyota has definitely done good with that truck. It is slick. I've seen some people complain about the price of the 2024 Tacoma, saying that it's too expensive. But they're looking at like the most like maxed out, fully loaded vehicle. I think it's like around $55,000, which is a lot of money for a mid-sized truck, but it's fully loaded. I've seen Tacomas on the lot that have TRD packages for around $42,000, $43,000. So even that still is quite a bit of money. Once you factor in how poor the economy's doing, inflation, cost of goods, also you have to factor in government regulations, insurance requirements. That's why vehicles cost as much as they do. It's not uncommon to find mid-sized trucks now that run $65,000, which is insane. But then at the same time, full-size trucks can be $80,000. Or up. I guess the point is of what I'm saying, everything is expensive. That's just how it goes. As far as the time goes, everybody, it is now 8:30. The sun goes down in about 10 minutes. It continues to be really, really hot and at the same time super humid. But now that it's getting dark, it's the perfect time for the fire. More than anything, I fired this up, no pun intended, to get rid of the bugs. There's just so many gnats and mosquitoes down here. But luckily, as soon as I fired this up, most of the bugs have dissipated. Plus, there's something nice about the flicker of a flame, and it doesn't matter how hot it is outside. The saving grace for this fire is that 3-hour compressed log. Without that log, there would be no fire tonight. I mean, there's just not enough wood left in this area. Every once in a while, the wind will pick up, and it feels so good. Man, that is the best feeling in the entire world. When it's hot and humid, there's no breeze, and then all of a sudden it kicks up. That is amazing. It's glorious. My plan is pretty simple. I'm going to sit around this fire for, I don't know, another hour or so. I really don't have anything to talk about tonight. I think I'm just going to sit around the fire, enjoy the silence, listen to what the forest has to say. It is now 10:07 and I'm inside of the tent. I've been in here for a few minutes. I can tell you all that it is extremely uncomfortable in here. In fact, I'm just flat out sweating. It is so hot inside of this shelter because of all of that fabric. Down at the footbox, fabric. Up here at the head, fabric. Here on the side, fabric. This back wall has fabric on it. We do have mesh here at the door, and that is helping some. Some is the key word. Unfortunately, it's just not enough. So I'm going to do my best to get some rest. Hopefully I'll be able to go to sleep. I'm going to have to strip off because, I mean, it's just almost unbearable inside of this shelter right now. But yep, that's what I'm dealing with tonight, everybody. Thank you all so much for joining me so far with this trip. I will see you all in the morning. I don't know if it's going to rain or not. It says it's going to, but I don't know. Right now, I don't see anything on the radar that concerns me. Anyways, everybody, I will see you all in the morning. Good night for now. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Cheers. How'd y'all sleep? As for myself, I did not sleep very good. That tent was so hot up until about 4 o'clock in the morning. I couldn't sleep. I just laid inside of it and sweated. The sleeping pad has sweat stains all over it. It's pretty gross. When I got inside of the tent, I got out my thermometer. It shot all the way up to 82 degrees. I took it out of the tent, put it on the ground there, and it dropped to 75 degrees. That's a huge difference. Basically, I was just nestled up right against the door because that's the biggest portion of mesh that this tent has. I could feel the cool night air coming through the door, but on the other side of the tent, I couldn't feel anything. And because there's fabric at the head and the foot box, it just held in so much heat. It really was uncomfortable. Yeah. I feel like I'm soaking wet. I feel just greasy. That was an interesting night. It really was. Everything else, though, was fantastic, you know? It was quiet and peaceful. Nobody was going up and down the road here, which is surprising. All that I heard last night was the whippoorwills, and that's it. Nothing else. So, all in all, it was a good night. It was a good test night with this tent, and that's all that I'm going to say about that tent. For now, I'm done talking about it. I don't even want to think about it anymore. Right now, I just want to sit here, drink my coffee, dry out a little bit. I'm dreaming of a shower right now, to be honest. As you can tell, the sun's coming up. It's gonna be a beautiful day. I checked the forecast. It said 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 2 o'clock. Yesterday, it was a 90% chance of showers and thunderstorms, and we really didn't have anything. I drove through a little bit of rain on the way out here, and it's kind of funny. As soon as I got the tent set up, it rained for like 10 seconds. I didn't even have enough time to turn the camera on, but it did sprinkle just a little bit. So that's just how it goes. I thought it was pretty funny though. As soon as I got it set up, I mean the very second, it started raining. Anyways, folks, as far as the time goes, it is now 7:08. Wind at 0. Humidity 100%. Temperature 66 degrees and going up. Now you may be wondering if I'm going to make breakfast, and the answer is no, but it's not because of the reason that you think. So last night I'm inside of that tent. I couldn't fall asleep because it was so hot. The fan helped a lot, but still it was hot and humid in there. Anyways, because I was up so late, I ended up eating all of my snacks and everything that I brought with me for breakfast today. So there's going to be no breakfast this morning. I'm not hungry anyway because I ate all night long. Just gonna sit here, drink my coffee, and then begin packing up. I'll hop out of here before it gets hot because it will get hot today. 85 degrees, something like that. I'd rather pack up when it's nice and cool, you know what I mean? The truth is, like, it's not really that cold right now. The temperature's going up. Anytime that I move around, I just about begin to sweat. For me, it's a sign that it's time to go. want to thank you all very much for joining me for this adventure. I really do appreciate it. If you had a good time, hit the thumbs up. Oh yeah. Until next time, everybody, take care, strength and honor. See ya.